How's it going, brother?
Yes, bro, it's going good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Yeah, can't complain. You're probably wondering what this call's about. So basically, it's just me getting an understanding of where you're at the minute, where you're looking to get to, and just to see if I can actually help you out today. If not, just give you some good advice on what you can use going forward. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, perfect, bro. Perfect.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, Sam, break it down for me. Why have you jumped on this call with me today? What's going on?
Um, well, main reasons probably I'm looking to try and get out of my job, and sort of get back that sort of time that I'm losing out because I'm working some long ass shifts and
Right.
yeah, I kind of want to just gain back some of my own time.
Hmm. And what is it that you're doing for work, just so we're on the same page?
I'm a joiner, like working in the FIFO.
Damn, right, okay. So fly in, fly out,
Yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah.
right? And like, you're saying there that you're working some pretty long hours. You want to get out of the job. Why exactly? Like, I mean, I can kind of put two and two together, but I want to hear from you, man. Why is it that you're looking to get out of that job then specifically?
Yeah, it's just the long hours really, bro. Like you've got your 2 weeks on where it's like mental, absolutely mental work, every day of the week, pretty much, very minimal time to yourself. Basically working like a dog for minimum wage, essentially.
Right.
Obviously you get your 2 weeks off, which is nice, but yeah, those 2 weeks on definitely like make you realize like, yeah, I don't really want to be doing this.
In terms of making you realize though, whenever you are away from home then, whenever you're, flying out for 2 weeks to do your job, what's sort of going through your head then as opposed to whenever you're home?
Just sort of like, oh, fucking, I've got to go back to this again. Like this got to be it feels like the longest 2 weeks of my life, honestly.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, just sort of like that's me for 2 weeks, back to, hell, living and like just working like an absolute animal for 2 weeks straight.
Hmm. I think I get you, man, right? But break it down for me a bit more, right? Like whenever you say that, like, you're dreading like flying back out again, are you dreading the actual nature of the work itself, or like are you dreading actually, being away from home, or what does that sort of situation look like for you?
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely bit of everything in there. Like, obviously, the work isn't the best. It's really the fucking temperatures. It's really, really warm when you're working, so that's quite hard. And yeah, I would say a bit of the sense of like having to leave, my family in the UK and like not going to see them for 2 weeks. So I definitely get a bit homesick, I feel like.
Hmm. So would having that feeling of like homesickness then, being away from family, would that be sort of the main reason as to why you dread flying out whenever you are going away?
Yeah, probably, bro. Yeah, probably would.
Hmm. So, I mean, if that is sort of like the main reason that you do dread going away, why sort of have you maybe not, or I mean, I could be wrong. Why could you have looked for a job, maybe that's here on the spot that you don't have to travel to go away for?
Uh, Probably could have, bro, but like I seen the like sort of the money that you can make from the FIFO
Hmm.
and like I thought it would be really good, getting over to a different country to do work and get that sort of experience of being away and stuff. But yeah, as I've came to realize it's just like a lot more hours for like basically minimum wage. But I guess you do still make a good bit of money.
Hmm. So that money's keeping you then in that job away from your family, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, probably. Quite like the wage that you do get, but yeah, it's obviously it's quite a lot in the body and stuff.
You said they're on the body, so is it the nature of the work as well then, as opposed to only the fact that the job is taken away from your family?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's fucking quite hard on the body. Like you're non-stop all day, like hardly any breaks, and um, as I said, it's fucking roasting as well, so like you're just sweating constantly.
Right. So it's also the actual job itself then, the temperature that you're working in and the just the job itself then. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, probably just like the
Mhm.
nature, definitely the nature of the work that do.
So would you say the sort of two main problems that you're dealing with right now then is being away from home, away from your family that are, I'm guessing, pretty important to you, and also the actual nature of the job itself then that's kind of causing you problems?
Yeah, probably would say so.
Hmm. So all those things that you told me about then, the heat that you're working in, the nature of the job, as well as being away from your family, would you say those are the problems, like the causes, or would you say those are symptoms of the actual problem itself?
Um, yeah, that's a good question to be fair. Not really thought about it like that before. Um, if there's a bigger problem, then I'm not really sure what it would be, but
Mhm.
it could obviously stem, yeah, from something bigger, a bigger picture.
Because if we were to connect all these problems together, right, all the problems that you told me that you're dealing with right now, where do you or what do you feel like is actually causing all of these problems? If you were to put them all in the same basket and sort of pin one problem that's causing them.
hmm Um, I'd say maybe like obviously my job and like the money. Don't really know what that would come under. Like maybe don't know, lack of time, maybe something like that.
What do you mean lack of time?
Just because of like the time, I don't really get much time to myself when I'm working, and then don't get much time with my family. Like obviously because I've got the 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
Hmm.
It's always split up.
Hmm. Let me sort of, give you a different perspective on this, right? Basically, let's say I was working away, right, as a joiner, and I was dealing with just, the nature of the job being really warm and just not enjoying the actual job itself, right? But I was also spending a lot of time away from my family. All these problems that I'm dealing with, right? What would you say for me is causing all those problems? If you were to give me advice.
Uh, I'm not really too sure, bro. Like I think maybe you probably should be prioritizing what matters a bit better, and I don't know, maybe look at different jobs and stuff that you could do. But for
Hmm.
like the problems, I don't really know what the problems, the
Hmm.
main
Because
problems.
you said there that you would sort of advise me to look at different jobs, right? So would you say then that the job is the problem behind all the other problems?
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, probably. Yeah, come because yeah, it's taking me away from my family, and then the job itself has its own issues. So
Hmm.
probably is. Yeah.
So if you were to give me that bit of advice then, right? Look for a new job because the job is causing all the problems. I mean, for you then, Sam, if you told me that the job is causing all the problems in this situation for myself, what do you feel like is causing all the problems for you then?
Yeah, it would be the job, probably, bro.
Hmm. And like, we sort of addressed this earlier as well, man, if this job is causing you all the problems of being away from your family, of the heat, etc., why not just look for a different job? One locally. You touched on the money side, but why else?
Um, yeah, probably. I don't really know, to be fair. Probably could look for another job. Um, if it's so bad, then I should probably look into doing other things, I would say.
Hmm. Like what, for example?
Just maybe something that's more local, obviously. Like maybe something not so far away from the family and like something that I could manage like that's quite close
Hmm.
to where I stay.
Hmm. But like, is that going to give you the same money that you're on right now? Is that going to be able to pay the bills the same way that you're paying?
Yeah, no, probably not. Like the money would be definitely not as good. But I do save a decent amount, but it would it would probably slow that down quite a bit.
Hmm. So,
But
say for example, right? Let's sort of flip the tables again, right? If I was in a job that, required me to fly out, spend time away from family, but I also wasn't able to really change that job because that income, allows me to provide for my family and for myself. What would you best describe my situation as?
probably feeling a bit stuck, maybe.
Stuck? Like, what do you mean by stuck?
Because obviously you've got the money that you need to make, but there's obviously no other job that is really going to be paying you like that.
Hmm. Hmm. So if you're saying that about me, then, right? That the best sort of word to describe my situation in that case would be stuck, right? If this theoretical situation that we're in is the exact same as the situation that you're dealing with right now, how are you feeling about your own situation?
Yeah, probably feeling a bit stuck at the moment.
Why probably as opposed to definitely?
Yeah, no, I would say I'm feeling stuck because yeah, as you say, the money's great. Like the money does do a lot of things for us, but at the same time, there's obviously not really anything else out there
Hmm.
that's similar to that sort of level of income, like with what I do, obviously. Um, so yeah, probably yeah, feeling stuck at the minute, man.
So if you were to pinpoint for me then, Sam, right? What being stuck is actually taking a greater effect on, what would be that one specific thing that you feel like being stuck is sort of causing right now?
Yeah, being stuck's probably, taking me away from like being able to, gain that time back with my family and sort
Mhm.
of be able to, have a bit more of that freedom that I desire to have.
Right. And in terms of family then, like who are you actually missing out on time with, Sam?
My mum and dad probably, bro.
All right, your mom and dad, and like, is there anything specific that you feel like you're missing out on with them, or is it just general quality time?
Yeah, well, they're getting older. Uh, every year, obviously, that's one thing we've not got infinite of is time.
Mhm.
And yeah, they're just getting older, so I'd just like to be around a bit more for them and stuff, and be able to provide as well for them.
All right. And all these things that you're telling me about, feeling stuck, not sort of being able to have that time for your parents, right? And you're saying that time's slowing down. So in terms of time then, man, when did you sort of realize that, that you were feeling stuck? That this is the sort of position that you're in?
Probably say about 6 months. The past 6 months has really sort of ramped up.
Hmm.
Mm.
So for the past 6 months then, right? Those 6 months ago, was there anything specific that happened maybe within your job that reinforced the fact that you're feeling stuck? Or was it just like a build-up of maybe different aspects that made you feel like being stuck was just getting harder to ignore in your mind?
Yeah, it's probably a build up, but at the same time, it was maybe one time when I was leaving to go out to work, and my mum and dad were quite sad about it, and that then made me feel quite sad, and then I was like having to leave them anyway. I couldn't do anything about it, And that really sort of played on my mind and was like, right, I've sort of I need to try and find something here that's got to change my
Hmm.
situation.
So if that happened 6 months ago, then man, right? That sort of feeling of being away from your parents. Do you feel like from then, those 6 months ago up until now, that situation that was going through your head has improved in any way, or has it only progressively got worse?
Yeah, it's probably just got worse, if I'm honest, because I've not really been able to do much about it yet.
Okay. So if it's only got worse then 6 months down the line, let's say we continue to stay in this situation for another 6, 12, 18 months. Do you feel like the situation's going to improve or is it only going to get worse again?
Yeah, if I don't do anything about it, it definitely just get worse.
And by worse, what do you mean?
Like just it's just staying in the same position really,
Hmm.
staying stuck and not being able to like achieve anything that I'm hoping to achieve with like gaining back my time with my parents and stuff. So it's definitely something I don't really want to like do.
I mean, you said that you don't want that to happen, but I mean, why not, man? You can just sort of stick it out, maybe see how it goes. Things might get better. Why not just do that?
I feel like it's just cause, I feel like the time is definitely a big part of it. Like I've realised that, we've not got like forever with our parents and then like it's more so like I just want to be more present and, stop wasting time about
In
trying
order to
to
actually make that happen, then, to be more present, to stop wasting time, what do you feel like needs to happen today, then, so that we can avoid looking back at the situation, in, say, 6 months or 12 months?
yeah, something's got to change.
What do you mean by something?
Like my situation, my job, like the way just like the way I've been the past 6 months.
And who's the only person that's going to be able to do that?
Yeah, it's myself.
So, to put it all together, then, would it be safe to say that you're the one that actually needs to make that change today, then, so that we can avoid that in the future?
Yeah, 100%.
Beautiful. And like, are you only coming to this realization now then, Sam? Or was this a realization that you came to maybe like those 6 months ago when, you realized that this is just going to keep continuing to worsen the situation with your parents, etc.?
Yeah, I definitely knew like it was only me that could change my situation,
Okay.
but I guess I just didn't really deep it as much as that.
Mhm. So over those last 6 months then, have you actually tried anything to essentially make that change and get you out of that feeling of being stuck in the job that you're in?
Nah, not really, bro.